a feeling of belonging to each other. And so human beings are social animals. They always love to be in groups. Okay. So uh, a group involves people who perceive themselves to be a part of a coherent unit that they perceive as different from another group. They think if we are forming a group and some other people are forming other group, people generally from one group will perceive like they are different from the other group. Okay, so the basis of this perception, coherence differences are called as different types of groups. So there are different types of groups based on the how people perceive them in a group. Okay, in common bond groups, which tend to involve face-to-face interaction about members, the individuals in the group are bonded to each other. Example of this common bond groups are like sports team, friendship groups, work teams. For example, if you are working in a company, okay, so your project members will be called as one group. Okay, though you like or dislike them, you will have a certain bonding between you. Okay, we all are from same team. Okay, so this kind of face-to-face interaction and this kind of bond is called as common bond group. In contrast to this, there are other groups also, like reference groups. What is this reference groups? Reference means you want to compare your group with another group. And you can also, in order to examine and determine the nature of a person or other group's features and sociology attributions, this group is being compared with the other group. According to Cooley, groups are mainly classified into two types. They are primary group and secondary group. What is primary group? It is a group categorized by close or intimate face-to-face interaction or association. And these types of groups are instrumental in forming the knowledge about social interaction. Okay, what is this primary group? If you want to become a, for example, in schools and colleges also, you have one close group. In that you will have only close friends, best friends group. And you also have another group. You will also be part of another group where you will have interactions and you will have the bonding, but only formal kind of thing. Only you have in the small group, you will be so secured. In the another group, you will have only fun and it is like a bigger group. So primary group is nothing but a close friends group kind of thing. In the secondary group, this type of group in which relationship among the members are relatively relaxed, impersonal, rational, and formal. See, in your close friends group, if one person is doing, generally we think close friends will share everything, right? They will share their secrets, they will share their belongings, and they will share their energies like that. But in a common group, common friends group, other friends group, other classmates group, when you go there, you will just relax. You will not share any kind of emotional bondages with them. You will just go, you chill, you go to movie and you come back. With close friends group, it is not that. Throughout the day, throughout your lifetime, you will try to maintain that relationship. But whereas in the secondary group, you will only have formal relationships. You have only relaxed feelings and you don't have any personal things with them. It mainly focuses on a general task or a goal in a very formal way. So these are basically two types of groups. And how groups are formed? There are different stages where groups are formed. The forming group occurs when the members of the group come together and begin their existence as a group. How do group form generally? When certain people come together and they think that this existence, this coming togetherness as a group is the first thing we have to notice in formation of a group. This model was developed by Tuckman and Jensen in 1977. Okay, so when a new group forms to achieve a goal, the formation takes stage occurs relatively quickly and is appropriately considered the group's first stage. For example, to any group to be formed, for any group to be formed, we generally need a purpose, right? If you are going and joining in a group, okay, for example, if we all have WhatsApp groups, right? So if you want to join Ambedkar University a revision group, okay, there is a group name called as Ambedkar University revision group, okay. So if you want to join that group, you need to have a goal. What is your goal? So you have not listened to any classes and you want to go and revise your subjects there. Okay. So for any first stage of any group formation will be a task or a goal for which you will go and identify yourself with a particular group of people. This will be the first stage. And in the second stage, it is called as storming stage. Sometimes we say brainstorming, right? So it is called as storming stage. This stage can be compared to adolescence. In adolescence only we try and test many things, we analyze so many things, we understand so many things. So this stage is considered compared to our adolescence age. Okay, as a group members begin to get to know each other, they may find that they do not always agree on everything. Okay, members may attempt to make their own views known, expressing their independence and attempting to persuade the group to accept their ideas. Storming can reoccur at any point during the group's development, particularly if the group experiences stress caused by negative event. So brainstorming means you for one idea, the members of the other members in the group will have different opinions. They debate on an idea or an event. So they continuously churn their ideas, they continuously churn their thinking, and they also try to persuade the other group members to accept their own ideas. So this stage is the next stage is group storming a stage. And the next stage comes is the norming stage. What are norms? Norms are nothing but giving roles and responsibilities for a group. When a group develops and when the group size also increases, for example, if any of your WhatsApp group, there will be an admin, there will be a follow person. Okay, according to the group size and according to the purpose of the group, you try to give some roles for the group members when for the group development. Okay, the next stage will be the performance stage. What is this performance stage? The group members report great satisfaction and identification with the group as well as strong group identity. Groups that have reached this stage have the ability to meet goals and survive challenges. Performing stage. See, for example, in any WhatsApp group, for example, I'm giving WhatsApp group example because nowadays we all are more dependent on WhatsApp only, right? So, for example, day one, some of your friends will open a group. In that group, nobody is going to join. Okay, they don't have any storming stage and they don't have any persons joining that. So 1 or 2 days, that group will be inactive. For example, if there is one group you created and there are more people interested in your group, they're coming and joining in your group and they're trying to express their views and they're trying to brainstorm them at the other person's views and all, then that group will be active, and that group will be entering into performing stage. That means if whatever is decided in that group, in that particular group, the people will start doing actions to their ideas which they have brainstormed. So in this stage, if any group reaches to this performing stage, then the group members are likely expected to achieve their goals, achieve the purpose of the group. Okay, and next stage will be adjourning stage. In this stage, group members prepare for group to end. In some cases, this is because the task for which the group was formed has been completed. Whereas in other cases, it occurs because the group members have developed a new interest outside the group. In any case, because people who have worked in a group have likely developed a strong identification with the group and other members. So, the adjourning phase is frequently stressful. For example, you have joined in a group for having practical classes. Okay. For every 20 members, there is one batch. Okay. Every batch has a 20 members in the classroom. If your strength is 200 people in your BSc section, each group has 20 members. So the practical classes will be for mostly 6 days if we consider. After 6 days, will the validity of the group exist? No, right? So the validity of if the validity of the group is completed, then there is adjourning. Adjourning means withdrawal of the group. Then you will exit the group. Or in other case, if you joined a group, for example, to go a trip, okay, you joined a group of your friends who are planning to go Manali trip, okay. So you did all brainstorming and you did all performing, okay, to go Manali, we have to book tickets, all those things. Suddenly, few members of that group will think, oh, okay, Manali might not be a great place, we will go to another place. Some people may like Manali, some people might not like Manali to go. So what they think, okay, so their interests have changed. So in that case also, they withdraw from the group and try to go to another group. As they have all identified that with that group members, that withdrawal process sometimes become very stressful. Okay, so these are different stages in a formation of a group. Now coming to group structure, there are some structure for a group also. For example, they should have roles, roles, norms, and they should have conformity. Okay, so there are different structures also, and they should also have status, and they should also have cohesiveness. Okay, so what are roles? When a group is formed, the basic structure of a group will have roles. So for any WhatsApp group, you have a definitely you should have a role of admin, right? So you will have different types of roles in a group. If you take a physical group, you will have task roles, building and maintenance roles, and self-centered roles. Okay. So what are norms? Norms are like rules, such as some acceptable standards. Okay. So if a group will not have any standards, means that group has no rules and no restrictions. For example, in WhatsApp group only, if you don't have any rules and restrictions, everybody will start. If you, in your practical examination group, okay, if there are no rules, like only we should discuss only about the practical examinations. Other than that, this group will not entertain any kind of personal information or any personal forwards. If that rule is not there, every day you will get hundreds of personal messages, hundreds of forward messages, right? So there should, for any group structure, they need to be having a certain norms, means some rules and regulations. Okay, so there are different types of norms also. There are performance norms, appearance norms, social arrangement norms, resource allocation norms. For example, if there is a college group of an annual day function, okay, there some rules will be there for performances based activities, and some rules will be there on how they have to appear, how the organizers should appear. Every organizer will have a badge, right? So how the appearance should be there, that norms will be there, and social arrangement norms will be there, and also which work should be done by which people, which members of the group. That resource allocation norms also should be there. And conformity. Conformity is accommodating to group pressures. It is also called as a majority influence, or we can say the group pressure. Okay, so conformity. If there are 50 people in the group, so one proposal is kept before the group, then all the 50 members will be on the same page? No, right? Maybe one or two may object that proposal. Some may like it, some may dislike it, some may agree, some may disagree. So you will always see the majority. You will always see the majority of people voting towards one conformity about one activity or one event. So this is called as group pressure. If that group pressure of majority people is there, so that will be as a conformity. If majority of them are disagreeing it, then that proposal is cancelled. If majority of people are agreeing to that proposal, then that is accepted. So there are also different types of social conformity. One will be normative, another will be informational, and other will be inspirational. Okay. Now the next one is status. What is the status? If you are group, status is a socially defined position or rank given to groups or group members by others. For example, in your college, you have 10 different groups for doing practicals. So one group will do 100%. They will complete all the practicals which are given by the university. They will perform 100% accurate results they will bring. And the other group can only perform half of the experiments. And the other group only one or two they will do. So the the authorities of the university or your faculty will try to give you a status, or they'll try to give you a rank according to your performance. So the ranks and the position which is given by the other people or other groups is called as status in the structure of the formation of groups. Next will be cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is if you extent to which group members are attracted towards each other and are encouraged to stay in the group. So, group, for example, you joined in a group. If you think that group is very boring and it is not giving any useful information for you and it is not adding value to you, then do you want to stay in that group? No, right? So,
No, ma'am.
no. Yes. So, if you if you are not staying in that group, if that group is not making you attracted towards that group, then you will not stay in that group. So any group has to have some attractive strategies and should also encourage group members to stay with the group. Okay, these are some basic structures in the group. Now let us see what are group functionings. We formed a group. Okay, we have seen different types of groups and how the structure of the group should be. Now we'll see what are the functions, what are the basic functions that a group can do. So there are mainly three major functions that a group can have. The first one will be satisfaction of needs. Next one will be the loyalty of the members. The next will be the belief for the group. Satisfaction of needs. What is the satisfaction of needs? Satisfaction of the needs will involve individual members to most essential features of the function of the group. For example, if you take a group and that wants to go and do some service activity. Okay, for example, they will see some Swachh Bharat is happening, Swachh Bharat campaign is happening in the city. And you formed a group who have that interest to do Swachh Bharat campaign, you want to join. So you have gone and joined to that group. If you think, if that group actually they have fixed a date and they will think on palana date we will go and clean the particular area, a particular temple or whatever we school, we will go and select and particular date we will go and clean it. If the group is continuously postponing the date of going and doing the cleaning part of the school, or they go and they just only click the pictures, they will just hold the cleaning tools and they will just take pictures and they will go. Some members of the group are very seriously attached to that campaign and they really want to do that activity. So will there be a satisfaction to that group? No. So all the group members should be essentially having the function of the group to be maintaining the satisfaction of the different needs of the purpose of the group. Okay, like music associations, health clubs, dance clubs, like that. Next one is loyalty of members. See, we have loyalty should be there in any relationship. Okay, and it should also be within a group. If something is discussed in a group, if you go and leak the information to other group, other competitor group, then will you reach the goals, group goals? No, right? So every member of the group should maintain the vital information or vital needs of a individual members. Okay, they should extend their capability to become more loyal to that group. Okay, the next one is belief for the group. Just as people have common needs, just people have common needs, they also have common beliefs, also serves as uniting the different members of the group. For example, you and I believe in Swachh Bharat. Okay. And I believe on a common point. Then that group has a common belief. Right? So these are different. Only common belief people only can come and join in the group and can perform progressively. Okay, so these are different things which you have to understand in a group processes. And the next one we will go deal with leadership. Leadership, what do you generally think of leadership? Yes, can anybody tell? What is leadership? In general terms, you can think One person is able to influence the group of people, or he is capable of making decisions towards the growth of or development of a group of people, then that is leadership qualities. Means the ability, the effective leadership can transform people's goals and ambitions, even their identities, and replaces self-oriented behavior with a group-oriented behavior. A good leader, he can put group's priorities as his top priority than his personal things. So you can have different functions of a leader. Okay, the main functions will be considered, and initiated structures are like dimensions of a leader behavior identified in 1945 as a result of the Osho State Leadership Studies. Okay, in 1945, a group of researchers at Ohio State University, they sought to identify the observable behaviors of the leaders instead of identifying personality traits. Okay, they observed only the behavior of the leaders, not about their own personality, but the behavior itself. So, to accomplish this, they generated a list of 1719 statements. This was narrowed down to 150 statements designed to measure 9 different dimensions of a leader behavior. Okay, so this is important. You need to understand 150 statements are designed with to measure 9 different dimensions of a leader behavior. Okay, and these statements were used to develop the leader behavior description questionnaire. This questionnaire is used to assess and to observe the behavior of a leader. According to the findings of these studies, leaders exhibit 2 types of behaviors. Okay, they have 2 types of behaviors. One is consideration, the second is initiating structure. What is this consideration? This type of leadership is people oriented. See, we have different orientations. One is people oriented, one is task oriented, and another is facilitate goal accomplishment. Okay, if you want a leader, we have some people oriented and task oriented also. For example, in the classroom, I will say, if I want to collect all of your classworks in a school, then what happens? I will create a classwork book collection leader. Okay, whenever I'll tell, give me the classworks in a classroom, then that particular person whom I told the task leader, she or he will go and collect the classworks and give it to me. That is like task oriented. Okay, the first one is 2 types we discussed, right? The first one is consideration. This consideration exhibits concern for the welfare of the members of the group. They will only consider and they will only act upon the welfare of the members of the group. They only consider the welfare of the group. Okay, some of the statements used to measure these factors are being friendly, approachable, treating all members of the group equally, looking out for the personal welfare of the group members, making himself or herself accessible to the group members. How should be the admin of the WhatsApp group? They should be friendly to everybody. The admin of the group should be treating all the group members equally. Okay, and they should be accessible to every group member in that group. Okay, these are mainly the considerations of a good leader. The next one is initiating structure. Okay, what is this initiating structure? They defines leader and group member roles, initiates actions, organize group activities, defines how tasks can be accomplished by the group. So, leader, not only treating people, not only looking forward for the welfare of the group, leader has also need to plan the activity. Okay. So, if you want to go to a trip, Manali, the leader of the group, okay, the admin of the group, he should not only say, decide on which area to go, he should also create a day plan, itinerary for the trip, like that. So, day one, where we will go, day two, where we will go, day one, which places we will cover. Like, you have to, leader has to initiate the structure of the action plan. Okay. So what are the statements which they use? They are letting group members know what is expected of them, maintaining definite standards of the performance, scheduling the work to be done, asking the group members to follow standard rules and regulations. For example, just to be discussed, if you want to go to a trip, if you want to go to a trip Manali, that leader, along with giving day one, day two, day three itinerary, he should also maintain some rules and regulations. For example, he should say if people are coming to the trip, they should obey some rules. They should they should not have alcohol. For example, if they are going in a group where some people will not like alcohol, if that is harming that group's sanctity, they can have that rules and regulations, right? And they should also schedule the work. If whole team is going to a trip, there should be some persons who should cook for the team, for the group members. There should be some people who will bring water to the group. So, scheduling the work which to be done, that is also some of the initiating structure qualities of a leader. Now we will see different kinds of leadership styles. Okay. There are different styles of leadership. Not every leadership is every leadership is not the same, right? Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership will be different, and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh leadership qualities might be different, and some other states leadership qualities might be different. So there are different leadership styles. Okay. Some people will have authoritarian leadership, like they will be like dictator, like Hitler. If I am telling, you have to do it. No more discussion. Like this. Some will have like strong authority. They will show full dominance. They will not be considering any other opinions. They will only consider whichever is good or whichever they feel better, and they only concentrate on their own methods. So this is like authoritative leadership, like dominating. The other style will be participative leadership. For example, it is democratic leadership. For example, if you are having some online classes, okay, some classes you have, some sessions, some faculty will come and take. All the faculty will not, teaching style is different, right? Some faculty will have interactive sessions. Some faculty will have only, they will go with the flow. They will not ask any questions. They only continuously go and read the lesson and continue. Like that, if it is an interactive session, it is like democratic. I will express my views and you can also express your views. And it is like providing some participation from the group members also. Leadership means that leader in a participative style, he will consider each and every person's views. He will let them let them tell about their views, and the structures can be modified. Okay. The next one is delegative leadership. What is this delegative leadership? Researchers found that children under delegative leadership are known as lysis feri, were the least productive of all these three groups. Delegative leaders offer little or no guidance to the group members and leave decision making up to the group members. Some group leaders will be like very liberal. They don't even care of welfare of anybody. For namesake they are leaders. They will not have any structures. They will not initiate any plans. They will not give any rules and regulations. They are like very liberal. If the group leader is not good, if the king of the country is not good, what will be the situations of the citizens? It will be very bad, right? So the researchers have found that the people under this delegative leadership, they do not progress much because they will not get proper guidance only. So the performance and the goals are not achieved by them. Okay. So this is all about group processes and leadership styles and types of leadership. Did you all understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any queries related to this? Any queries? Any doubts you have?
Ma'am, group of structure, norms and roles. Once again, can you tell me?
Norms and roles.
Yes, ma'am.
Roles are like responsibilities given to particular person. For example, in this classroom, if I am giving one role of taking attendance, okay, for you, I will give a responsibility of taking attendance. Okay, this is role in any group. Okay, but I will say if you want to join this session, everybody in this, whoever joined in this session, should switch on the camera. So this is the basic norm. Norm means certain rule, certain regulation. Okay. Now you got the difference between it?
Yes, ma'am.
Role and norms?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Now only 15 minutes are left. Do you want me to discuss the model question paper, or shall we do the next unit, that is prejudice?
Model question paper, ma'am.
Model question paper shall we do? Okay. Just a second. I'm just opening my I will open my model question paper and let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What were you asking, Soumya? Some
In
have
exam,
important
important questions
questions.
or important topics, can you say, ma'am, please?
See, it is not like important questions, important topics like that. I will suggest you a method so that you can get score good. Okay. So this is basically the structure of the model paper. You might have known. This is your third course, right? Third semester. So in first two semester, you might have written your exams. Basically, it is for 3 hours and 80 marks. Minimum marks you should get is 32. So here you have to write any four. Okay. And later you have to write all the 4 questions, and that you have internal choice. Okay. And in the section C, there are multiple choice of questions. You need to have select one of the.
Ma'am, question paper has changed, ma'am.
Ma'am, the pattern of question paper, model paper has changed.
Oh, is it? But this is what our Narsimlu sir gave me.
Last
Did it
objective,
change?
objective is not there. 2 questions or 20
Yes,
marks
sir,
question.
writing.
Okay, okay. So discussing this model paper will not make sense then. So I will give you basic idea how can you prepare for your examinations. Okay. So for any exam, not particularly to this, for any exam, you try to take different model papers. Okay. How many model papers you have with you?
No model papers, ma'am.
I mean,
We don't
previous
have.
question papers will be there, no? Do you have any previous question papers?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you can open Google and you can try search the previous question papers for your BSc or BA third semester, your subject social psychology. You can search like that. Okay. You go and search, or you can go to the university and collect the previous question papers. Okay. And for any exam, you try to find out from which unit. See how many blocks you have in each subject. 5
4
blocks.
blocks, ma'am.
4 or 5 blocks you have. In each subject you have 4 or 5 blocks. So you write down in a paper, you just write down how many blocks are there. For example, social psychology, block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Okay, 4 blocks you write. And you take the previous question papers, you try to search in Google, or you can try to ask your, you can go to the university and ask for previous question papers. You can take the Xerox or do something for that and try to analyze from block 1 which are the topics regularly coming in the examinations. See here also, section A, they have said define social psychology and nature of the social psychology. Write about impression formation. Next, they are asking interpersonal attraction. Next, they are asking components of attitude, social cognition, stereotypes, types of groups, destructive obedience. Okay. And section B, they're calling internal and external attributions, Ashes research, schema, process of socializations, Hyder's theory, and other theory, and cognitive approaches of prejudice. So from here, in these 2 sections, you try to divide social psychology and nature of social psychology. Which block?
First block.
First block.
First block. So from first block, social nature and definition is like important. In previous question papers also, it got repeated multiple times. Okay. So this topic might be important. Now, impression formation. In block 1 only, it is like second unit. Impression. We have also discussed, right? How are impressions formed?
Third unit, ma'am.
Third unit. Okay. So our interpersonal attraction. So for block 1 also, you write unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. Block 2, unit 4, unit 5, unit 6. Block 3, which units are there? Block 4, which units are there? Like that, form a tree structure. Are you getting my point? Social
Yes, ma'am.
psychology. Under social psychology, draw 4 blocks. Under each block, draw again unit wise. Unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. Block 2 again you draw like branches. Okay. And under that unit 1, which questions are getting repeated? Which topics are getting repeated multiple times? You can do that. So this will take hardly half day. Right? If you sit for half day with the previous question papers and if you discuss with your other friends in the classroom, you will try to find out within half day, you will just get the structure of important topics from the previous question papers, right?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
unit 1, which questions are repeating? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you also have your intuition power. Okay. For example, when you see this topic, you might be thinking, this will definitely come. Your sixth sense will say, you should
Yes.
read this before your exam.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
When you go through any topic, sometimes you feel, oh, this topic might be very important. We should read this. And definitely in that examination, you will get that question. Did any time happen this with you?
With me only, ma'am.
Yeah, it happens. With me also, it happened many times. Though the topic is not there in the previous question papers or anything like that, because I also completed my master's in psychology. I feel this topic might come. So at the time, half an hour before the exam, when I see, okay, just let me read the subheadings. I'll read just the subheadings and go to the examination hall, and I will find that question in the examination. If I am not seeing that subheadings, I would have not written the answer in the examination, right? Like that, you also see which topics you are feeling from your that gut feeling, and you also include that topics. So in this structure, if you prepare, then after doing all this homework, within half day you will get all the important topics. So, and next half a day, only one day is enough for you to plan for how to prepare for the examination. So half day you will assess which are the important topics from the different units. You will prepare a flow chart, like a tree like structure, and after that is formed, now from you will prepare a day wise plan. How many days are left for your exams now, from now on?
15 to 20 days, ma'am.
15 to 20 days it is left, right? In this 15 to 20 days, you will write day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Likewise, you write day 15 days. Today is 11th February. Like that, you write 11, 12, 13, 14. Like that, day wise, you write. After writing day wise, you're getting my points, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we in the sync, Syed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and who is the other person joining? Only 4 are there now. Okay, you two only joined. Jahnavi, she did not join today. So, write the day wise. Day wise you write. How many other subjects you have? You have social psychology, you have organizational psychology, and you might have, what are the other subjects you have?
English, ICT,
Mm-hmm.
and personal development,
Mm-hmm. So,
computers.
you need to focus equally on each subject, right? So for that, if day 1, you divide day 1 into multiple parts. So this is one method. Every day you make 3 parts of each day. From morning till mid-afternoon. For example, from morning 6 to 11 o'clock is one part of the day. And from after having lunch, 11:30 or 12, from 12 to 3 or 4 is one part of a day, and from 5 to 9, that is the third part of the day. And if you are more studious and if you are ready to study hard, you can make one more part of the day also. So each part of the day dedicated to one subject. Okay, for each subject you are making this tree diagram, and day wise you will allocate 3 to 4 hours in one part of the day, and you will assign 2 units or 3 units should be covered in that 3 hours. When you give deadline only, your brain will get trained. Okay, very short period of the time is there. When you have limited time, your brain starts to work sharp. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So, see, revision part before exams, before examination begin, 20 minutes will be very crucial for you. Your brain will be super fast. You will resign, you will just unit wise, with a glance, with just one glance, you will revise whole chapter, right? So when you have limited time, this is a psychology you have to understand. When you have a limited time, your brain functions will be multiplied. So utilize that strategy. Train your brain in such manner. You give the limited time and you plan the day properly. This is one method. Or else, for every 2 days, you take one subject. For example, if you have five subjects you have, every 2 days you take one subject. How many days it will be there? For each subject, 2 days if you take, within
10
10 days,
days.
you will finish whole. So, every 2 days, one subject. Means the 2 days you will concentrate only on that subject. You will forget about every other subject. In the 2 days, you will make 4 parts of the day, and first part you will read block 1. Second part you will do block 2. Again you will revise block 1 and again you will revise block 2 in day 1. In day 2, you will revise block 3 and block 4. Like that in 2 days, you will be able to finish 4 blocks. Isn't it great?
Yes, ma'am.
Only one block if you leave for the choice also, that will not make you much difference, right? So in this manner, you can prepare for the exam. Okay. I see you said this examination format is changed. But though format is changed, if you are preparing in in this way, which we have just discussed, you will be able to at least score good marks. At least 70 to 80%, 70%, 60 to 70% you will get. If you follow this type of study strategies for the examination point of view. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
You want to discuss anything more about this?
No, ma'am.
So is it clear?
Yes,
How to
ma'am.
prepare for the examination?
Yes, ma'am.
So all the best for you both. And if possible, send my greetings to Janavi also. She was being so consistent in joining the classes.
Yes.
And you share this kind of strategy which I have told you. You share in the group.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You just write the minutes of the meeting or whatever heading you want to put. You just keep. This is maybe one of the strategy of studying for the examination. What we have discussed just now, you try to draft it like a message and post it in the group and say, this is what Harshita ma'am has discussed to get good marks. This might also help your other friends in your group. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All the very best for your
Thank you, ma'am.
examinations and see you in the next semester. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, Soumya. Bye, Syed.
Bye, ma'am.
Have a
Have a
nice
nice
day.
day, ma'am.
Bye, bye. I'm leaving the group.